One Piece chapter 1135, 36 and 37. I know I've missed these couple of chapters, but now I'm gonna be going over every single one of them. So hit like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this. Starting off the chapter, we got one of the craziest cover pages in One Piece history, with Tama managing to defeat, or how you say, like, get away from Hold'em, the guy that actually kidnapped her in the first place the first time while Luffy and Zoro was there, and Luffy had to like use some haki to get him and everything like that, but now she somehow manages to escape on her own. Yeah, Tama is Yonko level, guys, for sure, 100%. I'm telling you right now, Tama is Yonko level. Jokes aside, guys, how the hell did Tama actually get away or manage to hold off Hold'em? Maybe she held him off until Yamato showed up, but still, it seems very strange for this little girl to develop such feats on this fast of pace. It's somehow does not make any sense, and somehow it does, kind of. I don't know, man. I don't know, but we give it the benefit of the doubt. You know, he can only show one page, so you don't have a lot going through that. So I imagine like she manages to like put the slips on him, and just immediately Yamato shows up and saves her. Who knows? Who knows? So putting aside the cover page, we get some interesting stuff in 1135, and I'm coming to the juicy stuff, but we gotta go over this gradually, you know? So first of all, we get the introduction of the library owl. It is called Biblo, and that is actually super funny, especially to me, because y'all guys know I live in Sweden, and in Swedish, bibliotek is the meaning for the word library. So this is somehow funny that the king of the library, or the magic beast of the library who can grow every single book, is somehow named library as well. Now, do you think Oda thought of that when writing this chapter or not? Let me know in the comments below. Let's move on. Now, the most shocking thing about this owl is that we didn't even get a devil fruit reveal. So where does its power come from? The gigantification of the newsletters, of the books, where does that power come from? And why is it letting me know that it knows more about the story than I do? Because it feels like this giant owl is from the Void Century or something. It has something really dark in its mind, and I can see it by the way Oda has drawn it. Like, how many important characters have we seen in One Piece who has a devil fruit and Oda writes it in their introduction? Now, why isn't that the case here? Does Oda not feel like this owl is gonna be that important? Is that why? Or is he hiding something? I'll bet you he's hiding something. So yeah, you take it for what it's worth, but yeah, I think there is more to this owl than meets the eye. Although we didn't get a full-on actual reveal for the owl's devil fruit, Saul actually mentioned that he suspects it of having the grow fruit. Now, see, this is the part where I'm kind of confused, because if it is the grow fruit, if it has that power, why would Oda introduce it in such manner? It doesn't make sense to me. It has never been done like this before. Like another character talking about the devil fruit of another one, but it doesn't get revealed. Like, that has never happened before, and probably you didn't understand a single thing that is coming out of my mouth, because yeah, I'm kind of stumbling over myself and fangasming, hyping, and knowing very little English, so it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Now, another very interesting topic about this chapter is that the giants are not what they used to be. They used to be these war-hungry machines killing everybody. Everybody was afraid of them. Now, they're more peaceful and pure. They have basically learned to put aside the stereotypical Elbaf behavior, and they have gone into the world of the humans, the trading world, the peaceful world. But still, humans are all not peaceful. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. I get that the giants are wanting to move out of this trope, but still you want to go into the human world where the humans are pieces of garbage almost all the time in the world of One Piece especially, but in our world as well. So I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 situation. You're leaving bad past behind, you coming to a new future where everything is not what it seems to be, everything is not all bright green and happy, you know. So I think this will of course backfire on the giants, and probably that is why they are pretty weak. Aside from Loki, Loki is the only giant probably that I know of that is actually strong. And why I know he's strong is because I suspect him of having advanced conqueror's haki. Why? Because he dodged Luffy's attack while he was blindfolded, okay? So yeah, take it for what it's worth, guys, but that's my opinion. Most of the giants, pretty much all of them, Dory and Broggy, they're alright. They're alright strength-wise. We don't really know, bro. They got kind of handled by Mr. 3 on episode like 100. So it's hard to judge their strength, okay? Maybe Oda's gonna change them up, okay? We never know. And we haven't even seen them in a couple of chapters. Still, it's gonna be interesting to see how Oda handles the giants power-wise. So, remember when I was talking about every giant being peaceful and the kids are now growing up in schools that they teach them morale and everything? Well, there is one exception to that story, and that is Colin, the one who tested Luffy by swinging a sword against his neck. Now guys, of course, Luffy's much stronger than that, but we already know if there will break out some kind of battle, you already know that Colin is going to fight. He will be the anchor of Elbaf. He will be the hope of Elbaf, because he will still keep on fighting even when he's almost put down. We already know this, guys. Kids in the beginning of One Piece arcs tend to be important, and Colin will not be an exception to that rule. If a battle breaks out, once again I tell you, if a battle breaks out, Colin will be the motivator of all the young giants. We also get a huge reveal about Colin's mother and father. Okay, so mother is Ripley and her design is so badass. Is that a tattoo on her forehead? Like, that is so cool. Her design is actually unique, not like all the other One Piece female characters are not that great, you know, but Ripley's character design is one of the most impressive we've ever seen in the One Piece story. Mainly because she's basically different to every one of them, and she has a tattoo on her face, or at least I think it is a tattoo, that kind of puts her aside to the other female characters. But then, the more interesting thing is that Ripley actually said that her husband, Colin's father, is actually human. No, guys, how does that even work? Like, how do they go to the bed, pam pam pam? Like, what, does he go inside her, the entire guy, or what? How does that even work? We don't know. Of course, I fail to see how this will be explained, but I guess it's just One Piece gags, I guess. So, but that is kind of, whenever a giant is having intimacy with a human in all of fiction, even in like movies and other anime, is just funny to me. So yeah, take it or leave it. Now, the most interesting thing is that I suspect that Colin's father might actually be the third hand of the Roger Pirates, Scopper Caban. I have a whole theory on it. I have already said it on my TikTok probably like 1,000 times, but listen to the small theory. In the beginning of the Grand Line, we meet one of Roger's subordinates. Who is that? Crocus. He was the doctor on Roger's ship. He was the doctor for like a year or two. In the halfway point of the story, halfway point, it's actually like been 700 episodes since then, but anyway, in the halfway point of the story, basically Marineford, the stuff before that as well, we meet Rayleigh, the second-hand man of the Roger Pirates. Now, quite a ways into the new world, the last part of the story, we get to see another one of Roger's subordinates. Who is that? Odin. Of course, he wasn't Roger's subordinate all the way because he was with Whitebeard before and then he jumped ship. But without him, Roger would not have been able to reach the title of King of the Pirate. Now, during last arc, Egghead Island, we got a flashback of Kuma. In the midst of that flashback, we get to see the stuff that was happening in God Valley. What if Scoper Caban is the person that is going to tell the tale of the rest of the God Valley incident to us? And then we'll get to see all of these amazing fights get written, drawn, and finally some years later get animated. On other news, the Strats finally get their Elbaf outfits and everyone looks cool aside from Sanji. But Sanji, it is what it is, bro. Doesn't look cool in most of these outfits, bro. Like, what the heck was his outfit last arc? It was kind of trash. This is also trash. I'm not a Sanji hater, guys. Let's go. I'm not a Sanji hater, but what the hell is that outfit, bro? What the hell, man? Overall, chapter 1135 was more of a setup chapter, but the introduction of the mysterious man seeking Loki and the hints about Ripley's human husband were the standout moment. One Piece chapter 1136. In the cover page, we get to see that Yamato's group discover a new secret hideout that looks exactly like Who's Who. Now, we don't actually see what is inside. Who is inside? Is all of the Tobiropo there? Or is just some scrub subordinates of Kaido? We have no idea. What are they plotting? How come we had no idea about this secret hideout before? Is this new build? We have no idea. It will be interesting to see what comes next. Meanwhile, the party starts off heavy, where Luffy, Harudin, Ja Rule are vibing, while Usopp hilariously tells the Giants the story of him defeating Oars. Of course, it's a bit of lies here and there, but it's mainly true. I mean, he did go up against Oars. I don't know what he did, like Satsu Midori Bush, but that was the only thing, probably. Now, after the comedic aspect of this chapter, we get into the heavy lore of Elbaf. Ja Rule explains how humans rarely find their way to the Sun World, the part of Elbaf where we are now. Because of the land's vastness, they often get lost in the underworld, the part where every sea monster is and the part where Loki is held. They usually assume that that is Elbaf and end up leaving fast. This little detail here explains so much about the rest of the world, not knowing a lot about the giants, not knowing a lot about the Adam Tree, not knowing a lot about Elbaf in general. Aside from the Big Mom flashback, we have not heard a lot about Elbaf or the giants themselves. Okay, perhaps Oda did not properly mean to go to this island, but he felt cold feet in the last second and was like, F it, I'm going to go to Elbaf anyway. Maybe that is the case, and maybe that is why we haven't gotten a lot about this arc beforehand, but right now these reveals feel like they have been set up for a long time. Moving on to the other Straw Hats, Brook brings his usual comedic touch, hyping the giants, giving them let's go party! Meanwhile, Sanji's living his all blue, you know, where every giant female looking at Jerk, hearts popping out of his eyes, boogum 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 boogum. You know the Sanji thing. That is all fun and dandy and fantastic, and then by 1 second Oda can switch up the tension to bring stuff back to reality and back to seriousness. Now things take a pretty serious turn when Road finally snaps and says, we all wish to be the sun god that rules the world. What does he mean by that? Can there be more than one sun god? Has there ever been more than one sun god? Or is everybody having their own fantasy right now? This sparks a debate between the giants. Everybody is kind of going at each other. No, the sun god is supposed to be the warrior of liberation, the one that frees everybody. And we have some people saying, no, the sun god is supposed to be the warrior that brings destruction to the world. What is the true identity of the sun god, and who was there first? The god of destruction, the god of laughter, or the warrior of liberation? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Now, another question I have about this topic. is that could the Hito no Mi have chosen somebody else before Luffy? Now, I know that the gorosei mentioned that this fruit has been kind of running away from them for the past 800 years. In these 800 years, have there not been a single sight of this sun god? I mean, most of the giants right now on Elbaf are not 800 years old. So how do they know about this aside from the script? They cannot even take the scripts at full value because they can't even read it properly. It is not translated in the accurate way. So people have their own different interpretations of this exact same script. That is why the rumor of there being 3 sun gods, I say it again, the warrior of liberation, the warrior of destruction, and the warrior of laughter. Now, Ja Rule in that instant reveals a very key detail. Both Loki and the late King Harald tried to embody the sun god Nika's idea, though in very different ways. Harald wanted peace and freedom, or so they say, aiming to prove that Elbaf wasn't just about war. Loki, on the other hand, embraced the destruction, perhaps due to pressure from his parents. Why I say pressure from his parents is because of the prophecy that told them that somehow Harald's son, we don't know which one of them, but somehow one of King Harald's sons went on to take the king's life by his own hand. We also get to learn about the tragic prophecy surrounding Loki, which brought misfortune to his family, including the death of his mother and the legendary warrior Jo Rule, not Jara. Naturally, Luffy wants to uncover the truth about Loki for himself, showing his classic refusal to judge someone based on the rumors alone. And guys, every one of you should follow that action. You should know for yourself if somebody is evil or bad. Don't take it from anybody else. Go and find out. To some extent, that is true. Now, finally, the latest chapter of One Piece, 1137, and it brings even more action and more lore. Yamato and company infiltrate the hideout that was teased in the last chapter. Could Kaido's underlings still be plotting something? Who knows? We gotta wait and see. Meanwhile, Rodo leads Luffy's group to the Arrest Castle, the place where King Harald got killed, and also the place where the 2 Holy Knights infiltrated a couple of chapters ago. As we go deeper in the castle, we find out more and more about the giants and the ancient giants, how they have these massive horns, and they're a lot different than the giants we see here today, because they actually dwarf these giants by a lot. And it is said also that these ancient giants are extinct. King Harald, Loki, and Harudin's father was an ancient giant, that they are all extinct right now. Only a couple of giants have their blood inside of them, but they're not pure-blooded ancient giants. We get to know more about Harudin and Rodo's backstory, how they grew up together, how they faced a lot of difficulties, not naturally together, but sometimes they did together. Of course, Rodo is a bit of a weird person, but he's kind of growing on you in a sense, especially his dynamics with Nami and the other Straw Hats like Luffy and Zoro. And of course, knowing about Harudin more makes him a more of a deeper character than what I have initially thought. That is because Harudin's mother is not the same as Loki's mother. I suspect that Loki's mother was an ancient giant just like all of the other giants, but Harudin's mother was not. They actually said that Harudin's blood is tainted because he didn't have pure ancient giant blood. Then the Straw Hats react of how awful is that, and then Rodo claps back at them. He's like, what are you guys talking about? You humans do the same thing. You fight over everything, and you're now trying to lecture us about this? So yeah, in my opinion, both of them, both of these agendas, both of like the giants have it wrong. You should not say that somebody's blood is tainted. That is effed up. And you humans, please do not talk. Like, look around in this world. Just open the window and look around and see for yourself on what humans have done. So this just goes to show that Oda is a god with his pen. He puts in real world aspects and make you kind of question it. What is going on here? That is the humanity about this show. and I love it. Now, a lot of people in the One Piece community are saying that King Harald is not what he seems to be. King Harald is not what the story says he is. Of course, everybody is saying he looks just like Kaido. That's gotta be evil, right? Come on, guys. He's just throwing you off. King Harald was meant to be shown as this dominating figure to put a scare into somebody. He didn't want that himself. That's why he took out his horns. Or do you actually think that it is Loki that took out King Harald's horns in their battle? Maybe. We have no idea. My thought is that for real, Loki is the one that is evil, and King Harald actually tried to save the giants but couldn't. And Ja Rule is the only one that knows what happened exactly that day. And then of course we get the bombshell reveals of both the Holy Knights. Of course, one of them, only a holy knight, not a world noble. Gunko, her name is. She has the toxic arrow fruit. Guys, you mind reminding me why that devil fruit is toxic? Like, please, like every single One Piece YouTuber said that the arrow fruit is toxic. Please, maybe I'm dumb, but I don't know why this is toxic. Please let me know, okay? And we have the major reveal we've all been waiting for, and you guys, you just dumb. Oh, Shanks is evil. Shanks is this. This is a copy of Shanks. It's his twin, okay? And if you go back and look at my reviews, I told you that this is Shanks' twin. Nobody believed me when I told you that. But guys, why would Oda just have introduced copies of Stassi and everyone, and then copy such a major character in the story? Aside from having more lore about him, like what a cop out it would be if it's just like, oh, this is or Shanks is a clone of this guy Shamrock. They don't even have the same name, bro. They don't even have the same name. How is he a copy, bro? Like, nah. I'm not with you on that one, okay? I was with the idea from the start. When we saw that circle, I was with the idea that this is Shanks' twin, and I was probably right. But guys, let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. Let me know if I should do more of this, like putting together chapters and then reviewing them, or do you think I should go over this one chapter at a time? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and Haki Review out.